Here we go. Cheri Doremus, January 22nd, 1981. Okay, Cheri, can you tell me a little bit about your bio? Family, kids, etc. Teenage years, anything you want.
Yeah, I grew up with a narcissist mom in my younger days, but she ain't the one who targeted me. So, but anyway, she did turn on me because we did get along because she's a narcissist. So my childhood wasn't ideal, and my mom used to tell me to go have a fuck day. She did. And then this is why as a TI, why I'm so strong, because I've already been through this as a child, you know? I mean, put it right there in the past. Now, if we lead up to my marriage, in my teenage years, I left home when I was 16. I had my first child when I was 18, and he died at SIDS.
Rest in peace.
When he was 4 months old. And then I had a daughter and met my ex-husband in Reno, Nevada in March of 2001. In March of 2001. And then we had a son in June of 2002, and we got married in October of 2002. And then we were divorced in December of 2010. While I was going through this divorce, though, in April of 2010 is when I met the CPS worker, because I had gotten pregnant by another guy who was dealing with Kayla Ellis. Jeremy, I'll throw his name out there, I don't care. His name is Jeremy Hauser, and he's part of my targeting, and he's a piece of shit. But anyway, lost train of thought. But anyway, well, because I'm trying to tie it all in together in this small piece. Okay, but anyway, so I met her in April of 2010 while I was pregnant with Nevaeh, and the person who targeted me, I had made an Easter basket for his daughter, and the mother was supposed to pick up his son because they had 2 kids in foster care, a boy and a girl. Well, I did the girls because I had 2 boys and a girl. I was pregnant with a girl, but I had leftover girl stuff that, you know. So I did that, and she hated me ever since, and she set her eyes on me to destroy my life over a fucking Easter basket. Although she did traffic my youngest daughter and my grandson, so it goes deeper and deeper and deeper in there. That's how I started out being a targeted. How she started targeting me is she had a neighbor 3 doors down come in and kidnap her while I was getting her clothes upstairs. And I come downstairs, my daughter's gone, excuse me, and the door's closed and her towel's gone because she just had taken a bath. The neighbor boy, I called the cops because he wouldn't give me my daughter back because they staged my daughter escape. That's how she weased her way in my life to destroy it inch by inch, was these little setups. That's how it started.
Okay, cheers. Okay, so what did you hear about targeted individuals, TI, electronic harassment, etc.?
When did I hear about it?
Yes.
It took me a long time. What was it? April of 2019 is when I found out. And you know, it's weird how I found out. I found out from a directional conversation. That's how I found out. Like, the perps pretty much told me what it was in a directional conversation. So I looked it up and I was like, oh my god, that's exactly what I'm going through. Da da da. That's how I found out.
Can you explain a little bit more on the voice transmission, etc.?
Like the V2K?
Correct.
Oh yes, I get random V2K and random do attacks. I get random V2K, so it's not 24/7, but mostly it's them running water. But usually when they run water, I'm around a perp, and I don't know, it's just weird. But they run water, or they'll sit there and whisper amongst each other, or they woken me up screaming my name, "Wake up, Cheri!" They did that. They woke me up saying that. They've never said anything negative to me through V2K. It was always like words I couldn't understand because they're talk really low and they're whispering, and it's hard to hear what they're saying. So it's mainly people whispering amongst each other. Or they did threaten me in the beginning of 2016 through V2K. They threatened to shoot me in my apartment, and I called the cops. And the cops said there was no one there, but I thought there was. And I had to go to the mental hospital because that's when I lost it. I lost it in 2016 when my targeting went from covert to overt. So it was covert from November 2012 to March of 2016, and then it went overt. That's when it went more chaotic, and I started dating a honeypot, and that's when the psychological abuse started happening. They would do things, try to run me over. They had people chasing me home. Man, they did so much stuff. I remember I dumped my whole purse out, and my keys were gone. I'm like, "Where's my keys?" And I was freaking out. I turned my head, and my keys were there. But he was right there, and they would just play like those little ghostly tricks on me, like psychological torment.
Okay. DEWs, EMFs, EMPs, ELFs, electronic harassment, microwave technology. Do you believe you are targeted by any of these technologies?
Yes, I do. I've had them all. I've experienced the DEW randomly. I get hot flashes when it's really high. I can feel it when it's really high because I start sweating and I get really hot. At first I thought it was menopause because they messed with my womanhood. They do with the technology. It messes with all sorts of stuff, and they also forced a miscarriage on me by the EMFs. I was on the kitchen floor bleeding to death. I had to have a blood transfusion and surgery. And you know what? I asked him for 5 minutes. I'm like, "Can you just leave me alone for 5 minutes while I'm going through this?" And you think those motherfuckers left me alone? No, my torture was 10 times worse while I was on the fucking ground bleeding to death. I'm sorry, I'm cussing on.
No, it's okay. As much as you want, man. Okay, when do you think you were targeted by these technologies? And why?
I don't know when exactly I was targeted by these technologies. I started feeling the symptoms as 2013 when they were doing the covert. That's when I started feeling the hot flashes, and they didn't give me the DEW weapons at that time, but I felt really hot at the moment, and I didn't know what was wrong with my body. Just weird things like that. Before it went over. When it went over, that's when things got crazy.
Okay. And who do you think is responsible for these technological errors on Earth, our universe, etc.?
I don't know who's responsible for the technologies. I just know that it's on Targeted Justice. They have all that information. But I don't know who those people are. I know who targeted me personally. And that's Kayla Ellis, the CPS worker. But I don't know that question.
Okay. If you could say anything to the people responsible, what would that be?
What were you thinking to ruin people's lives, assholes? You took my family, you took the ones I truly loved in this world, and you just, where were you thinking? And you need to be held accountable for your crimes against humanity, because this is bullshit. They knew.
Right on, man. And are you religious in any way, shape, or form?
I'm not into organized religion, but I'm very spiritual, and I know there's God and there's Jesus, and I just do my little Bibles on my phone because Every time I go to a church, they're there, you know, the perps are there, and they're just horrible people. So I get closer to God when I'm home.
Peace, love, and light.